38. You got full insurance, full benefits. You go back to school, and you have a thing called a pension. And those pensions don't fuck around. Those pensions pay you some fucking money every month. So even if you get a part-time gig doing security work at high pay, you're not doing that bad.
I think you get like, because my cousins are both in the Air Force, I think you get like something like 75%. And then like they both bought houses at like the same age I am, like nice houses. But they have the option to just live on base and just, as far as I understand, just take that money for 20 years of no bills. That like, I wish, like when I was 18, I was even nerdier and geekier now, so that wasn't even an option. But it's funny about 28, like you said, it's like the first time I've really started thinking about my
28
age.
is for 28 and 26 to 28 is when you've already been brokenhearted. You already went to college. The job you wanted, you didn't get. You already, it took you a while to get a job. Maybe you got a job. Now you're paying back loans, and you find yourself working, ironing a shirt every night, living with 3 guys, drinking, and all of a sudden you're like, at the end of the week, I got no money. So you start thinking about your life. You go, what the fuck happened? One minute I was graduating college, and the next minute I'm living with 3 fucking guys. I'm broke. They're fucking mutts,
It's a line from a comedy album, but around this time is when you figure out like your dreams aren't going to come true. Like you realize, like, oh, like they might not come true, which is just, it's weird.
That's why the girl that won't suck your dick when you're 20 will maybe come around when she's 34 because she's already had crabs. The guy's cheated on her. You got a job and a heartbeat and a license. You're fucking solid compared to the guys she's been with. And remember, when she was 21, she was the queen of the fucking prom, and she had plans and futures. So, yeah, it happens to all of us like that. We start lowering our standards. But at the same time, listen, man, I didn't take life serious till I was 32. One day at 32, I found myself fucking broke. I mean, living from fucking garbage can to mouth, pretty much. Had a refrigerator that only had Snapple in it and beer. Never was there food in that fucking thing. I lived in a 1-bedroom, pretty much studio apartment. I had a TV, I had cable, but I was living like Rocky Balboa, which there's nothing wrong like that. But they didn't put you on this planet just to give up.
Right.
I love to just get by. If I was on my own, I'd live in this office. I've told you that 1,000 times already. I live in this office. I keep this refrigerator. You teach me how to get Netflix on the computer and the apps to watch the news and shit like that. I wouldn't go anywhere. $400, whatever. A car payment of $3, your insurance. That's it. I'm getting by. That means I could deliver pizza one night a week. That means I could do anything 3 days a week and make my nut and not worry about life. And not be responsible. Great way to live. I did it for a fucking long time.
We've spoken about that guy, the homeless man who won't take your money.
Right.
How many homeless people do you think are they're just like, I'm just gonna enjoy my life from now on. Who cares?
That's it. They're comfortable where they're. And listen, that homeless guy made his decision. When I see him over there and I try to offer him money and I bring him food, and I haven't seen him in a while. I drive in that neighborhood all the fucking time. I think the cops chased him out of over there. I don't see him over there at all. Maybe the last 6 months. But all that time, I realized something in my conversations with him, that was his choice. He wanted to be there. Okay, and we're all at one point. See, I got married, and at one time I said, this is just too much. This is just too much to handle as a human being, because I was a weak fuck. And I was like, I can't handle this. I just want to disappear. I want to live like John Rambo. Work at a car wash 3 days a week, have a little apartment, eat cans, shit. But one day, man, you go, you know what? I got friends, they got wives, they got houses, they got cars, and they got lives.
Are you sure your tax expert is right for you? Switch to TurboTax Full Service. You'll be matched with a TurboTax expert and get real-time updates on their progress. And you get your best outcome guaranteed. Switch to TurboTax Full Service.
So here's the thing, this app can actually pay the players because it's sharing advertising revenue with them.
Yeah, but don't these apps have like all those annoying rules like minimum cash outs or fees?
Yeah, that's exactly why Just Play stands out. There's no minimum cash outs, no hidden fees, it's fair, easy to use, and legit.
Seriously? Because I've tried others and I have to say my experience with these apps was not good.
Right, as someone who has tested dozens of those so-called money-making apps, I can tell you that 90% of them never actually let you get paid out of them. But this one's different.
Okay, but is this gonna eat up all my free time?
I mean, it depends on you. I literally just play casually, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, and the cash balance stacks up in the background.
Oh, okay. And does it actually pay? Like actual cash I can spend?
Yeah, straight to my PayPal. Or you can pick up gift cards like Amazon, Walmart, or Target. No weird crypto wallets or stuff like that.
All right, sold. What was it called again? Just Play?
Just Play, right.
You better not disappoint me, Just Play.
I think they also have this big promotion coming up where they're boosting payouts for a limited time period, so you got perfect timing actually.
How do I get a fucking life? It took me to be 32. Now, at 32, I had a life. When she walked out of that house, Lee, I had a life. Wasn't the best quality life. I was taking care of myself. I was eating good. I was exercising. I was making money. I would always take some type of class. But I was just sailing along. I was just waiting to fucking hit something. I knew this was not going to be forever. I knew it. I fucking knew it. I'm like, this is not going to be forever. There's no way I'm going to be 40 and estimate ruse with a truck and come home and play with my kid for 2 hours. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, I got the fucking weekend off. Saturdays, I watch the kid, and Sundays, I go to the in-laws for dinner. This is it. This is it. I did time. I was a loser all those years. I was in a rocket ship. I stole. I turned my life around for this fucking boredom. It was boring to me. I was like, I can't, I need something else.
So for like I don't know, let's say 70% of Americans who live that life, roughly, maybe it's 50-50, who knows? Are they lying to themselves? Are they really not happy?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Well, we had a discussion earlier about people. We have a friend that paid their dues for something for a few years, and we were talking earlier, we don't think that he understands what he got himself into.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's the first time I mentioned it to Lee. Lee had mentioned it to me once before, but I never saw it. But from Lee and I's conversation the other night, guess how many people that happens to? When you're 18, do you think you could really make a quality decision about what you want to be?
I thought I could. I thought I did.
In your head, what is the percentage you think of people that at 18 went to college with an idea what they wanted to be, and that's what they're doing today?
Today, maybe like 20%. I think
Is
it's low.
that how low it is?
I think it's low. Because that's the question is like, is what if they went to school for it? There's a lot of people who aren't or are doing, even if it's a good job, maybe they went to school for history and now they're, I don't know, like a marketing person. Like I think there's a lot of people who change. Isn't it like most people have 3 to 5 careers? Isn't that what the stat like this?
Is that what it is?
I'll look it up or something real quick. But it's something like people. How many of you had? You've had multiple.
Yeah, but I'm a loser. I didn't have multiple careers because I was a winner. I had multiple careers because I was a loser. First of all, I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Right.
Second of all, I was always buying time because something was coming, or at least I thought something was just going to bump into. Like I was going to pick up Sylvester Stallone driving a limo. He's going to put me in a movie, or I didn't fucking know. That's the pipe dream I had, okay? So I had a bunch of jobs because, number one, I was lazy. Number two, I thought they were going to hand it to me, and they're not going to hand it to you. So I did the easy way out. I became a fucking petty thief. And then in the meantime, petty thieving, when I get sick and tired of petty thieving and turn my life around, I get a job at a place as a cook. Well, I'll be a bartender in a year. And after 2 weeks, I go, are you fucking crazy?
Jeez.
Are you fucking crazy?
Because of the work to put in that you have to put into it?
Sure, because of who wants to put work in? How can I come to you and go in 10 years, you're going to be a great comedian, Lee? You're going to go, okay, so if I get on stage tomorrow, January 11th, what you mean to tell me is in, what is it, 2027? I'm going to be a good comedian. I can't even think that fucking far. And I'm 50 and I've gone through it. So I can't imagine a 28-year-old wrapping their fucking head around that. When I was 32, Lee, I was out of options. Okay, so I had no reason. When I was 32, I was out of options. I had nothing. When I tell you nothing going for me. So I had two ideas. I had one, I could try this comedy shit. And when I first started comedy, remember, I started comedy in 91, and I was like, listen, this is going to happen. I'm not going to do what Lee does. Lee's an asshole. He gets on stage every night. He's a fucking asshole. I'm just as funny as Lee is. Lee's been doing comedy 4 years. I could wipe my feet, but this was my thinking. My thinking was that I was going to be in a comedy club, and Jerry Lewis was going to see me and put me in a movie. That's what I really thought. Like, that was how delusional the coke and life and fucking, you know, this is way before Kim Kardashian, but there was somebody who was Kim Kardashian at that time who had me confused that I was going to just get on stage one day and Alan King or David Letterman or somebody was going to be in the audience walking through and they were going to see me and put me on their show and I'd be a famous stand-up comic. I had no idea the work that went into it.
Would you daydream about it?
Oh, absolutely. Like, this is all going to be differently. Don't worry about this. Give me $20. Come on. Listen, when fucking they see me at that comedy club in 2 weeks, you're going to be begging to give me more money. You know, like, that was my fucking honest, you know, and I'd fuel that dream with cocaine and actually fucking buy it. Like the asshole that we are at that age and when your mind is that thwarted. So I started in July of 91. It took me till September of 93 to realize that pipe dream was never going to happen. Never, ever gonna
And that's
happen.
not even that. I bet there's people who smoke the pipe a little bit longer than you did. That's only 2 years.
And I buckled down and I said, you know what? If I'm going to do this, I have to do this right. And I put together a plan. And I went back to Colorado, and all the plans worked out except for me being a parent. Okay, no worries. But even throughout that whole downship and the state of mind I was in, I kept getting on stage. I kept getting on stage. It didn't matter. I kept getting on stage. Who gives a fuck? Keep getting on stage. You're in pain, you're mad, get on stage. Talk about it on stage. That's what I did. And by 94, which was 2 years later than that, I really had a dream, not to be famous or nothing like that. At this point, I just wanted to be a working comic that nobody knew about. I would go and do triple runs and you know, whatever, the company in Iowa, and I would work for Creative, and I would just travel around the country in a car and do comedy. I was pretty much set with that. Never did I think about millions of dollars. Never did
Really?
I think about...
You never would, like, sit in bed at night and be like, oh, I can't wait.
Look, what esteem did I have to actually say to myself, not in 1991 when I was delusional. Once I knew what you had to put into comedy and what went into it and the work and everything, there was no way I thought about millions. I thought about being a break-even working comic, and I was fine with that. You know why? Because where I came from, the position I came from, that would have just turned my life around. If I could just be a working comic and stop stealing and doing drugs,